Greetings and happy Friday from the Chamber of Catawba County. We welcome you to our Facebook Live Q&A Family Strong series and are delighted to have you join us for lunch today. We're glad to see you and we look forward to our next 30 minutes together. As a chamber, we pivoted into the virtual world just like you did. And with the creation of our Facebook Live Q&A series, have had the privilege to meet and introduce the community to many special guests over the last year. We began in May with the Small Business Innovator Series. Over the summer, we had the Exceptional Series. And this fall, the Family Strong Series. Today, you'll meet another great generational business, Hickory Sheet Metal Company, in its 92nd year and under the leadership of the third generation. The Family Strong Series has allowed us to share the story of local family-owned businesses of Catawba County, who have stood the test of time through strong innovation, strategic and succession planning, technology advances, and embracing generational leadership. In the season of Thanksgiving, this series has been a blessing to us, and hopefully to you, to our viewers, who have been able to learn leadership lessons, strategic thinking, and innovation skills from all of our special guests. But before we get started, and if we haven't had the privilege of meeting before, I'm Kim Dahlstein, and I'm the Vice President of Operations at the Chamber. As a transplant to North Carolina a few years ago, I want to thank you for having a strong, collaborative community that we live and work in. And I can say not every community across the country is blessed like this. And to all of our partners, which we have the privilege to interact with and come alongside on behalf of the business community, allow me to say thank you. And now I'm pleased to introduce and thank Hickory Real Estate Group. As well as a family-owned business themselves, Hickory Real Estate Group has served as a sponsor for the Family Strong series this fall. Today we have Roseanne Flowers, one of the top-selling agents at Hickory Real Estate Group, who is on with us, and I'm pleased to introduce her to share a few words of welcome. Roseanne?
Hi, Kim. Thank you for the introduction. I'm happy to be here today. I have been with Hickory Real Estate Group for my 8th year now, and I am pleased to be part of a family-owned business. Hickory Real Estate Group is a company that has been around for, I think, about almost 11 years now, or just about 11 years. It's a great company. Mike and Kathleen, family-owned business, have over 30 associates working under them, and we all consider ourselves one big happy family. I love working there. We do help buyers and sellers, buy and sell homes. And if anybody ever needs any assistance, please feel free to come, call us, contact us. You can connect with us on through our website, which is hickoryrealestategroup.com. You can reach us by Instagram or by Facebook, and we're very active in the social media market. Anytime you have any questions at all regarding real estate, please feel free to give us a call anytime. My name is Roseanne Flowers, and you can reach me also at Instagram at RealtorRow.
Great, thank you, Roseanne, and to our sponsor,
thank you,
Hickory Real Estate Group, for your support of this Family Strong series. Now,
thank you. Have a great day.
Thank you, Roseanne. And now there are a few ways that you can engage with us today as well. So make it easy. So there's a quick comment check. So if you're watching us right now, put in #live, or if you're watching this afternoon or later, put #replay. We'd love to know and love to have you share the story of the Family Strong series with everybody. Also hit the like, comment, the like, heart, or wow face. Those are easy ways to also engage and let others know that you're participating. Click the share button or start a watch party on your Facebook page. Sharing and hosting a watch party is a great way to share the Family Strong series story within your circles of influence. And last but not least, if you have a question or comment today as we go through a conversation with Lanny, please ask it. We'll do our best to weave those into our conversation, and we'd love to have you be part of that. So thank you in advance for engaging with us today. And now it is my pleasure to welcome and introduce our guest today from Hickory Sheet Metal, Lanny Huffman. Thanks for joining me today, Lanny.
Kim, thank you. And thank you for the Chamber for doing this series. It's been very interesting to get to know different people. And thank you so much for this. It was a great idea.
This is wonderful. Well, we are so appreciative of you here this morning. And before we get started, let me do an official introduction for you. So Lanny Huffman is a Hickory native. He's a graduate of NC State University in mechanical engineering. Presently is president of Hickory Sheet Metal Company and chairman of the Air Conditioning Contractors of America, the nation's largest association of HVAC contractors. Lanny also serves on the advisory board of the Salvation Army, Sipes Orchard Board, and board chairman of the Humane Society of Catawba County. Lanny is also past president of the Kiwanis Club of Hickory. Lanny's hobbies include scuba diving, Class C skydiver, and is an instrument rated pilot. Lanny, it is great to have you with us today. I'm so pleased.
Thank you.
And as we get started with all of our series, we have some rapid fire questions. So this is just a quick way to get to know Lanny outside of his title of president of Hickory Sheet Metal Company. So are you ready, Lanny?
I'm ready.
All right. Okay. So what is the most important quality of leadership?
Integrity.
Great. So summer, fall, winter, or spring?
Fall.
Me too. That's my favorite.
I'm a romantic.
All right. What is one of the most random facts about you?
I don't like Brussels sprouts.
Did you have to eat those as a child?
Do what?
Did you have to eat those as a child?
No, because I wouldn't eat them. I always give them up for Lent.
Okay. What skill do you think everyone should have?
Integrity.
What is the best piece of advice you've ever received?
My father told me a long time ago, it's a military saying, it's called the 6 Ps. Proper prior planning prevents poor performance.
I think that's a great one. So say that one more time for everybody.
It's the 6 Ps. Proper prior planning prevents poor performance.
Amen. Amen. All right. What is your favorite spot in Catawba County?
About 3,500 feet over Catawba County and Lake Hickory.
Perfect. All right. If you could have a 15-minute conversation with anyone, who would it be?
You know, I struggled with that question. Of course, the first one you come up with is Jesus, but you know, I would love to also talk with Apostle Paul. I think that would be interesting.
That's fantastic. All right. What book did you read that had the most impact on you professionally?
One I really enjoyed reading was Excellence Every Day. It's by Leora Orosi. I hope I didn't ruin the name, but a very good book.
That's fantastic. All right. What is your personal mantra?
Give back to my Lord, my community, my family, and my industry.
Perfect. All right. If you had a TED Talk, what would the subject be?
I'm sorry?
If you did a TED Talk, if you gave a TED Talk, what would the subject be?
How to show empathy.
That's great. That's great. Perfect time of year for that too. So
Yes.
if you had 25 hours in a day, what would you use with your extra time?
Oh, I'd spend it with my family.
All right. When you aren't at work, where can we find you?
About 4,000 feet above Linville Gorge.
Excellent. All right. If you could jet set anywhere in the world, where would you go?
I would go back to Royal Livingston at Victoria Falls in South Africa.
Oh, wow. That sounds beautiful.
It is.
All right. What is your favorite family tradition?
Oh, Christmas. Christmas.
And last one, what's one word that you would describe working with family?
I'm sorry?
What one word would you use that describes working with family?
Well, I'm sorry I would have to use 2 words. I'd say mutual respect, because my father has always respected me as far as coming through the business, and I've always respected him because of his intellect and his abilities.
That's fantastic. Great. Well, I so appreciate, like I said, those are the rapid fire questions that just give a little more insight into Lanny, but
Sure.
we are going to transition into the meat of the program now. So again, appreciate your time giving us today. So
Certainly.
first one is, the question is, tell me the history of Hickory Sheet Metal. And I do have to confess, I did some little researching on your website under the company background and have been just amazed and inspired by that. But I'd love to hear your story of that.
Well, my grandfather and two other business associates started the business, and they were making basically sheet metal fittings for the dust collecting industry, because furniture was big back in 1928, and then it transformed. One of the business partners was tragically killed, and the other one decided to get out, and so my grandfather stayed into it. And of course, by that time, his sons were growing up, and they got into the heating business because it was kind of a new concept of central heating. And they started putting in some coal furnaces, and then the coal furnaces turned to fuel oil furnaces, and then the fuel oil furnaces turned into gas furnaces. So it was a transition over years. So Hickory Sheet Metal has every form of heating and conditioning to a business and a home over the years.
That's so amazing. The innovation, the technology advances, you kind of ticked all the checks that we talked about early on. So
Yes.
I think one of the things that we spoke of earlier was, did you always want to be part of this family business? I mean, certainly your grandfather started it and your father was in it, and definitely family. So kind of walk me through that story of how that happened, and if it was always a big master plan or what the
Actually,
story
it was not. When I was in engineering, I had taken a job with Babcox and Wilcox in Lynchburg, Virginia. And at that time, I had met my wife to be, and we decided we really didn't want to leave this area. So I asked Dad, I said, do you mind if I just stay at the office for a while and try my hand at, Hickory Sheet Metal and some sales and things like that? And he said, I was never going to ask you to come and stay. It was going to have to be your decision. I said, well, let's see how that works out. Well, 40 some years later, I'm still there. So I love it. I haven't regretted one moment.
That's it. So you might still be on a trial basis. Is that what I'm hearing?
It may be. I may not have a job tomorrow. I hope.
Well, that's fantastic. And I know in other conversations that we've had, certainly family dynamics and family businesses are different than
They are.
any other.
They are.
So walk me through some of the things that you guys might have talked about, or what you've discussed, or how you've learned. Is family business outside of business? Is family business only when you're at work? What kind of rules, or did you set some parameters to make sure that all voices were heard? And
Well, Kim, actually, we did not. We didn't. I mean, even when I go over to Dad's house, I mean, a subject could come up. It's just because it's so much a part of your lifeblood and part of your persona. It becomes part of your family. I mean, and it's like I've told my employees, I spend more time with them than I do my own family. So my employees become my family. So even when I go home, I try not to take my work home, but it's still so much a part of your being that you can't just stop. It's very difficult. And we both enjoy discussing it. And my dad's 92 years old and still loves it.
So is he still in the office every day?
He comes in about 8:30. He checks the mail. He does some billing. He still does some billing, and goes home around 12:30 to 1. Go work in his garden. So he's living the life right now. He's living a dream.
He has his work-life balance set.
Perfectly.
That's great. All right. Well, let's dive in some more here, because I know HVAC is not in my repertoire that I know a lot about. So I'm eager to hear about and learn about this. So certainly 92.
That's why you need me.
I know, that's why you're my go-to guy now. So, but 92 years later, which is amazing and such a proud achievement for a family business, what recent advances, when we talk about technology, have you implemented to make the dramatic change in the business? Kind of walk us through some of those that you've crossed paths with, and maybe that you took advantage of, and maybe those that you didn't.
Well, there's several things that are happening as far as the technology of the equipment, because it has now become more connected. I mean, now we have thermostats that can come up on your smartphone. I mean, and then we have diagnostics even that from some units that connect to your phone and tell you what's wrong with it. And on some of the larger equipment, we even have, and we've gone to virtual training. One of our equipment manufacturers has a virtual training that they use that is amazing. And my guys love it. Matter of fact, we set up a whole new service area training room just for that, so we can do virtual training. Also, even in billing, all of our service techs now have, almost all of even our project managers and our installers have an iPad that we can see real-time problems and solve them. Plus, in our billing, our service technicians get all their service calls on iPads, and as soon as they're done, it's finished, it goes to billing. So it's the technology and the increased flow of information is just incredible.
So has that all been in the last 5 years, 10 years? Or
Certainly within the last 10, yes. Yes.
that's just amazing. So again, technology, it doesn't matter what sector or profession you're in or industry, technology certainly is taken to a whole new level, and probably expectations for the industry as to how you can provide service, how you can do your diagnostics, do your testing, any of those, but also streamline, as you talk about, going straight to billing.
Exactly. And it's also increased even in the construction industry as a whole. We now use what they call BIM modeling. And basically the building is built before virtually. So you can already see conflicts like where ductwork and conduit may run into each other. And so that's already done for you and before the building's ever built. It's incredible.
That's amazing. So we do have a question from Facebook, so I'm just going to roll it into us now. So the question is, with the younger generation not getting into the trades, are you having a hard time finding workers and employees?
Boy, is that, yes.
Did they hit the nail on the head?
Yes, they did. Matter of fact, this is not just a local problem. Being chairman of the board of Air Conditioning Contractor America, this has been a nationwide issue. And matter of fact, as the association, we're trying to work on our workforce development. We have got a lot of training available through ACCA. We also are working through a lot of the community colleges throughout the nation. Matter of fact, I just got back from Stuttgart, Arkansas, working with a local manufacturer there of HVAC equipment. They're going to be establishing a workforce training program at their local community college. So it is a real issue. But the thing is, it's not a glamorous job. It doesn't, but it is a constant, well-paying occupation.
Absolutely. Absolutely. For those that are just maybe coming out of high school now, that maybe that's that they want more of a skilled trade, what direction or what advice would you give to them?
Certainly, I would look at the community colleges, see what's available through them. Work with maybe work with an employer that does have some type of training program. There are a plethora of information of training out there, and it's just talking to the right person. But through the community colleges is certainly the best place, I think, to start.
Fantastic. Well, thanks so much. We'll certainly take some more if we get those. So just the next question is, so when we talk about advances, what advances do you see coming for HVAC equipment technology? Is there things that are on the horizon that you're seeing in your national exposure or locally?
Yes, matter of fact, I've been serving on the it's called the AHRI. It is the certification company of HVAC equipment, and we will be seeing in the near future what they call the A2L low flammability refrigerants. The refrigerant that we use now in air conditioning equipment is not flammable, but this will be, because this also will be a greener refrigerant. It is less environmental impact, and it will soon be, probably within the next 3 to 4 years, will be in most of your HVAC equipment.
Wow, that's great. And how long have you been watching that on the horizon?
About the last 2 years. Matter of fact, I got really involved in it when I first found out about it, and then AHRI had asked me to serve on advisory board for that. And ACCA has been very active in it, also through AHRI and also through the International Code Council, because it is also going through the international codes right now.
Fantastic. All right, next one is, what does the future look like for HVAC industry? I mean, that's a very broad, but certainly you have different perspectives from a local, a state, as well as a national. So what are some things that you guys see on the horizon?
Well, in light of this last year with COVID-19, it has become indoor quality has become a real issue. And I think that's going to be more and more of an issue in existing buildings and certainly in the new buildings. There has been a lot of retrofits and trying to clean up and filter and using more outside air. And this is going to change indoor environment quality.
That's great. I'm going to step back just a little bit. So back to when you first joined the company. So take a little walk back. Are there things now that you look at, or that you, I guess now the hindsight is 2020, that you wish you would have done when you joined the family business, or that you would have liked to have done to either gain more knowledge or be a better steward of your family's company, or any of those that now you're like, now that I'm, seasoned and I know this, I wish I would have done that earlier?
Well, I'd had some business courses in college. I wish I had gotten involved more in how to run a business and the things that you had to have in place, the protocols, the procedures and things like that. Had done it at an early time. Just several years ago, we had a business consultant come into our business and basically do a do-over, just a completely do-over. And it was significant. So business training, although we were very technically knowledgeable, we're horrible business people. So I encourage everyone that, if you're technologically advanced and you know your stuff, you better go learn how to run a business too, because it's totally different.
Exactly. I appreciate it. And we have another question. So I think your comments are sparking some interest here.
Good.
So the question is, will the new refrigerant be any less expensive than Freon?
It will certainly probably be less expensive than the R22 that has been phased out, because R22, the cost of it has gone through the roof. But this will be less expensive, probably in the same category as the new refrigerants we're presently using, the R410A, which is used in all your residential and commercial air conditioning right now. It'll probably be priced in the same category.
That's great. That's great. We'll keep those questions coming from Facebook. We appreciate that.
Great.
So, all right. So I'm going to sidestep just a little, as I promised. I told you I might do. So again, for small or for young family businesses that are starting out, again, this is kind of on the same thing. What advice would you give them if there are just a first and second generation, if it's a first generation that's hoping it becomes a legacy family business? What advice or suggestions would you have for them as they start that planning process?
Make sure your business skills and business knowledge is at least up to date. Be sure you can even read a spreadsheet and join the chamber.
I'll take that one, Lanny.
Yeah. I'll put that one in for you. You can pay me later there.
I'll take that one. So, as we begin to close on this one, and certainly there's lots, again, we could spend all afternoon talking here. So what does the future look like for Hickory Sheet Metal? Is there another generation? Is there planning? What is it, what does that strategic plan look like for the next 5 years for Hickory Sheet Metal?
Well, we have discussed back and forth the possibility of looking at an employee-owned business. We've had several offers, from larger conglomerates to look at buying us. We want to keep it as a family business as best as we can.
That would be fantastic.
Because we want to serve the community. That's the main thing.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, what other stories or what other would you like to share with everybody, just on behalf of your family business and Hickory Sheet Metal Company? This is your time to share. If there's anything important or things that you would like that we haven't covered yet, I want to give you some time.
Well, family business become part of your legacy. People ask me who I work for. I said, well, I work for Hickory Sheet Metal Company, but this is my family's legacy. And so I've been in, I feel like I've been given the family jewel box that I have to take care of. So it becomes again of your part of your family's DNA, and embrace it, enjoy it, take care of it.
That's great. That's great. Well, certainly, Lanny, it has been such a privilege to have you with us today. I know
Thank you.
I'll have all these questions that come when we sign off, so I might be sending them to you. And certainly if there are others that come through on Facebook, if we don't get to them, we'll certainly pass those along, knowing that you're a good steward of this industry. And certainly if there are ones that are up and coming, that are interested, that have questions, that just want to know, that I have a feeling you'd certainly be able to be willing to answer those on their behalf.
Certainly, absolutely, enjoy them, invite them all.
That's great. That's great. Well, thank you, Lanny, for your time, and certainly for entrusting us to share the story of Hickory Sheet Metal Company. 92nd year, correct? If I read
That's
it,
correct.
did my numbers
92nd
right.
year,
So
yes.
maybe we'll be back together in 8 years and we'll do the 100th celebration.
That sounds good to me.
Well, that's a date, right?
That's a date.
Great. Well, thank you so much for that. Also, thank you to Hickory Real Estate Group for being the supporting sponsor and the series sponsor of the Family Strong series. It has been our privilege during this fall to be able to share these stories and to be able to bring those to light of the local family-owned businesses that we are privileged to have in Catawba County. So also to you, our viewers, we thank you for engaging and supporting this, and go out and support those locally owned family businesses at this holiday time as well. So I wish you all a great day. And with that, we're going to sign off.